guys? How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. What a good, wonderful day it is. And a Friday, last day of the week, first NFP of the year. First, not first, but first NFP of the year. I don't know what did I have to say about first, but it's the first NFP of the year. Um, first week of first full week of the year. Obviously, we started on a Wednesday, so it wasn't a full week. So this is the first week as well. But now, uh, jokes aside, let's have a not a quick, but let's have a very detailed discussion around NFP. Um, uh, Basically, the the suggestions on where will price go to, not about like obviously we're not going to be using common sense here. We're going to be using structural confirmations. Obviously, I'm not going to be looking into the fundamentals because personally I haven't done the due diligence in terms of like looking into the fundamental side of it, as to what are the developments in the states, what could be, and I didn't also look into what was the press release with regards to the ADP news. I didn't also look into the job claims. Those are the fundamental side of everything. But I'm just more going to be talking about gold and GU in generally based off structure. Obviously, the discussions around the prices, I did have a quite a very useful discussion with people that are in the WhatsApp group, the Ozil Capital Gate group, and also the WhatsApp channel for Ozil Capital as well on WhatsApp. So basically, we did have a discussion around gold and also GBPUSD, and I think what's more important is discussing what are the possibilities of price going to, or what are the possible directions that gold could take, and what are the possible directions that GBPUSD could take, right? So my main first talk would be around talking about gold, obviously, right? If we take a look at gold, obviously, I can't show the charts at the moment, but if we definitely look at how are you, Excel Royce? So if you definitely take a look at gold currently on your side, obviously, I'm speaking of what I've already checked, right? So if we go and look at gold currently, we definitely have a rejection point. Rather, you see that gold has started selling currently, right? Obviously, for some people would say possibilities are that it might start retracing. And to be quite honest with you, obviously on gold, we are looking at a long term, sort of like a long term buy, right? So within the fact that we're looking at a long term buy on gold, my chances are to say that even though we're looking at a long term buy on gold, we do have some short term sells currently on gold because yesterday on WhatsApp, I did post that currently gold is selling. Obviously, the people who took those sales are currently in profits. Obviously, the only thing that one has to do was to actually lock profits right now. I understand. Hello, Braz. But now let me tell you why am I saying the current sales and what are the targets that I'm actually looking for in terms of gold. The target is definitely 26.33. If you go and just mark out the price on your chart, which is 26.33. So if you go and mark out that price, you're gonna see. I don't know if whether you're gonna see what I see there, but based off how I trade, based off the principles that I follow, not the principles of the psychological way or anything like that, structural principles that I follow in terms of how does price respect each and every key zone. That's what are the key. That's the key level that I'm looking into on gold, which is 26.33, right? And obviously that is a sort of like a short-term sell. uh, it has to sell to buy, meaning that even though we're looking at a long-term buy, we're still looking at gold selling before it can start buying. You understand? So now the other thing is based off GBPUSD. You understand? So if we definitely also have a discussion around GBPUSD, obviously I want you to also go and look at GBPUSD based off the previous weeks and the current week. You're gonna see that gold and GBPUSD, they are more of like the correlation between them is that they haven't been moving in the same direction, right? But now one thing that I want to tell you is this: most people want to trade gold based of what's unnecessary. I don't know if whether it's the right term to say, but it's unnecessary for someone to want to trade gold based off the correlations within the dollar related. So gold does not fall under the dollar like it doesn't fall under dollar in a sense of, even though it does have a even if it does have a code dollar code at the end, right? Because it's XAUSD, obviously, right? Even though it has that code, it doesn't necessarily mean that gold is dependent on the state's economy. Gold can take any direction as it wants based off the structure, meaning that when you trade gold, do not be reluctant on the fundamental side of it. Make sure, obviously, if you want strictly, if you want to actually trade gold based off its own fundamentals, it means that whenever you do your own researches around the fundamentals, you don't have to be looking at what's happening in the States, what's happening where else. You need to be looking into what is actually happening in the gold mines, right? I mean, that's what you're going to be doing. But because I'm not sort of like a fundamental guru, but I'm going to tell you that I'm more into the technical side of trading. So meaning that what I'm saying is only structural based, right? So that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm currently looking at sales on gold, obviously, as I said, until 26.33. And then on GBPUSD, we also had it was yesterday, we had a discussion inside the WhatsApp group where I had to actually sort of like teach on the candle, should I say it's more of like a candle case study, where the candle actually confirms that after every push that we had, we need to be looking at a serious push to the upside to go and collect some few market, should I say, like some key zones above a certain candle, which means that that candle confirms a rejection to the upside after all. So it means that now someone is saying this is pre-recorded. No, this is not pre-recorded. I am here. I'm talking. So, but now, so it means that now, if you take a look at gold currently and GBPUSD, it means that the chances are that the correlation, now the correlation is not based off dollar. It's just the correlation based off how the market has been moving this previous weeks and to the current price right now. So it means that the chances are that since, well, currently we're still looking at GU push to the upside, then the chances are that gold will definitely sell. Not just because it will sell based off the correlation, but structure confirms that those are the prices that we should be actually looking into. We're looking at a continuation of strong sells on, not strong sells, a short sell on gold, then a push later, because obviously we're still looking at, I think it was about, when I had the discussion the previous days, it was based on how much was it? I think it was about like 4,000 points from yesterday's Asian session. So we are looking at about 4,000 points push to the upside. So meaning that we're looking at a rally of about 4,000 points from yesterday's Asian session. And obviously, we haven't reached that 4,000 push to the upside, right, on gold. But now, hence, I'm saying, even though we're still looking at a strong buy on gold, there are short-term sells that we can be consider that we need to consider as well. It still needs to sell a little bit, then we can still look in an overall 4,000 points from yesterday's Asian session up until that target, right? And then now on GU as well. On GU, we had a discussion on the 1st of January this year, where the discussion was around the overall direction on GU. So the overall direction on GU is strong sales, right? And within that part of saying that we're still looking at a strong sell, we also need to consider that there are chances where price could definitely do what? There are chances where price could definitely give us some retracements, pullbacks for it to actually drop further. But now, here are the things that you can go and look so that you can confirm it on yourself as well. If you go and look at the current, how do I put this? If you go and look at the current daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and the 1-hour time frame, before we even go to the main time frame that you should be looking into, is that you're gonna see that the current daily time frame, 1-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, the price has done what? The price has done has actually broke the previous low that we had, right? Meaning that if it has actually broke the previous lows that we had, and created a new low, the chances are now we need to be looking at some retracements, some pullbacks to the upside. So, and those pullbacks are based off the candle study case from a 1 hour time frame. I mean, from a 30 minutes time frame. Unfortunately, I may have forgotten the exact price under 30 minutes. So we're still looking at a retracement on GU, meaning that we're looking at a short-term pullback, then a sell later. And then gold, we're still looking at a short-term sell and then a buy later. And I see there, hello, hello. And then I see, what are you talking about? I am talking about NFP. And then I see a real person here. Um, some people are asking unnecessary questions. But now I think one of the other things that you need to just look at is that only. Don't trade gold and GBPUSD or any dollar related pair based of correlation. You're going to be in the wrong side of it, because currently if you go, main reason is, one of the other things that I think I can just give out as a tip is that you should note the following. You should note of the two following. Gold is more active on two sessions, being Asian session. Gold is actually active during Asian session and also New York session. GBPUSD is only active exactly at London session. So you can't be trying to trade a correlation of GU and also gold or any other related pair, dollar related pair within the New York session. Because why? Most of the dollar related pairs, especially, not even most of them, basically Euro USD and GU, they are only active during London session, meaning that whatever that you do not trade correlation based off Euro USD and GBPUSD and also compounding it to gold. When you trade gold, just make sure you are structure wise about it so that you don't have to fall in the wrong place. So right now, whatever you do, just make sure if you get today's Asian session correct, the chances are that you're going to be getting the NFP right. So I'm telling you right now, obviously, that the current sales that I saw from yesterday, obviously, there's still some price range that we need to look at, which is about 26.33. You go and mark out that price on gold on your charts, exactly 26.33, right? Yep, 36, because it was supposed to be 26.32.99. So I just had to round it off to just 30 and just make it more prominent, which is exactly 26.33. So it means that that's the target that I'm looking into on gold, 26.33 exactly. You go and highlight that price. Unfortunately, on okay, on gold, I mean on GBPUSD, I don't exactly have that price in my head because it's quite a long number in my head. So if you want to go and mark out that price on GU for the target on GU, right? Because on GU, I'm saying we're still looking at a pullback. So on GU, if you cannot find exactly that price, because I can't remember the price, so you go and mark out this price on GU, which is, you go and mark out the high price of London session. Ne? What was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. Yesterday, let me see. Yesterday, the whole day I was busy with gold. So it means exactly yesterday. Yes, it's yesterday. You go to London session yesterday, exactly at 12. If you are from South Africa, obviously I don't know what time it would be using the New York time frame, right? If you are from South Africa, you go and highlight 12:30, which is within the London session from yesterday. You go mark out the high price during London session exactly at 12:30. That price that was marked out at 12:30, that's the target that we're looking at on GBPUSD currently. Hence, I'm saying we're still looking at a short-term buy, and then obviously later on we're looking at those long-term sells, because under weekly time frame, and I say, not even sadly, it's not sadly, but unfortunately, we are looking at the confirmations of a long swing sell on GBPUSD exactly from today. So basically, we need today to actually give us those confirmations of long-term sells. Not today per se. Not today. If I'm not mistaken, it's not today. But yeah, we're definitely still looking at like long-term sales on GU, and then now taking it to gold, we're looking at long-term buy. And we have two targets actually. And those two targets, obviously, as I said, from yesterday's Asian session, we were looking at about 4,000 points, which is more of like a short-term target that we're looking at. Main reason why we're looking at about 4,000 points from yesterday's Asian session is that if price does not reject when it reaches that 4,000 points, then it means that now it's gonna go for about 13,000 something, if not 14,000 points, and that makes it a swing buy, and which then puts GU in a long-term swing sales. So you can take a look at the correlation now that we need to then look into to say that if we're looking at a swing buy on gold, then the chances that we have to be looking at a swing sell on GU. Then you can also take it down to Euro USD as well, because obviously looking at Euro USD and GU, there's so much correlation because they're more active during the London session. So that's what mostly you need to be looking into. But for today's NFP, most definitely from today's NFP, the I'm sorry about that. If gold does not reach that 26.33 today, I mean, if it doesn't reach that 26.33 before NFP, then I'm gonna sell I'm gonna sell gold to reach that area, right? But then if it does reach the 26 as the 26.33 before before NFP, then I am gonna buy. But if we are far from that 26.33 before NFP, most definitely I'm selling towards that area. I'm gonna sell gold even furthermore to reach that 26.33 price. But then if it does reach that 26.33, then I am gonna buy, because then the 26.33, it's a rejection price where there's sort of like it's a confirmation that after it actually reaches that price area, we definitely need to hike again. So meaning that it has to rally again is a continuation. And then on GU, as I said, on GU, obviously, if not even if, I'm quite certain about that one to say that it's even further away from the London sessions, the 12:30 London session price. So it means that definitely, if it's further away from that London session price by before NFP, definitely you buy GU towards that price, and then you later on just focus on selling GU as a continuation of the weekly sell. And then gold, same thing applies. You're focusing on short-term sales to buy. But then if it doesn't reach that target, you need to wait until, if let's say, then just to give you a more easier way to go about gold, let's say you are afraid to be trading gold towards the 26.33, the best thing you can do is to always wait for it to hit the 26.33, and then you can start buying gold even further. Then you can even take it to exactly about like 4,000 points above, and then when it reaches those 4,000 points, then that's where you can take a look at if whether does it give any rejections. If it doesn't give out those rejections within those 4,000 points, then you can take it, you can swing it even further more to even new heights. Not even new heights, but there's a certain price that it has to reach, which is then you'd have to just mark out exactly about 13,000 points from yesterday's agent session. So if you can mark out that 13,000 price, unfortunately, YouTube that wouldn't allow me to share a screen where I'm actually showing you the setups and everything like that for gold, to show you where are the prices that I'm looking at into and what are the prices that I'm looking for on GU. Obviously, I haven't analyzed USDJPY, meaning that for those who want to trade USDJPY, I'm not gonna say anything because I haven't done any analysis price wise. I haven't looked at it. I haven't traded it since it's been a month. I haven't been trading USDJPY in a month. So definitely I've only been on GU and also gold as well. Those are the only two instruments that I've been looking at. And I'd say sometimes Euro USD just in case sometimes. So, but mostly I focus on GU and gold. But for now, that's what I'm gonna say, because now at around Asian session for today, I'm saying that during this Asian session, when you definitely get an entry of a sale during this Asian session, it's always best to always make sure that you find a trade 12 hours before 12 hours before the news release, or at least 5 hours before. Main reason is that if you get the right entry hours before the actual news, it makes it much more easier for you to have less psychological frustration, because a lot of people want to frustrate themselves by trying to trade the initial movement, which makes it much more easier, for them to lose, understand, and harder for them to recover from that not from that psychological trauma. Because one of the other things that you need to also look into is that the more you do the more you want to trade this news events, or rather initial directions, as to like you want to trade 30 seconds before the, like you want to place entries 30 seconds before before the event or anything like that, it it subjects you to a psychological fear, meaning that if you lose this time, tomorrow you're gonna have fear in terms of taking the trade, because now that psychological experience taught you that, hey, you know what, the more I actually do this, I'm gonna lose. Or maybe let's say maybe you lose the first time, then it's calm. Next time you want to try again, you lose again, you lose the second time, third time, fourth time. Obviously the fear has already developed. You won't even be able to trade them again. You might even tell yourself, you know what, that I'm done trading them. So that's why I'm like, do not frustrate yourself in terms of trying to trade the initial movement. The best way to approach trading is definitely making sure that you're always far away from psychological fear, which it develops based off the bad trades that you actually take into trading. So even greed as well, it's part of it. The more you become greed, the more you build on the psychological fear, because next time you deposit, you tell yourself that, you know what, I've been losing, or I've been in a losing streak, so it means that, hey, this time around I might lose everything again. So that also develops onto that. So you have to make sure that you make up in terms of like having good trades as a trader, making sure that you have the right way of approaching the psychological thought, not the psychological thought, but you have to be mindful about the thought process into how you enter trades, the thought process according to how you exit. Those are the ones that you need to have in your trading plan to build a good uh, um, consistent tool for you to be profitable or anything like that. And then there comes like there has to be certain things that you need to follow. The thought process is further away from the technical side of it. You need to have that in line, and you also need to have some technical tools that are helping you in terms of knowing where to enter, knowing where to exit. But the best thing to do in trading any event, make sure that you have the right direction, especially not even the right direction. Make sure that you have, let's say when you analyze and you see that the chances of a certain instrument is it has to buy for that day during that specific event, you have to make sure that hours before you are already in the buy that you wanted to take during that event, meaning that during that event you don't have to place any trades. You let the trades that were already running go throughout, because then it makes it much more easier for you not to risk much, because the chances are that if you are in profits, you place trades, you put stop losses at break even. But then if you are in losses, then that's where you have to face the consequences by putting in very tight stop losses. Sometimes it's best to even put tight stop losses. Sometimes it's just to cut out the loss while you still can, because some other brokers can offer slippage. You can put as tight a stop loss as you want, but then because of slippage, when there's a spike, it takes out your stop loss and it places it where the jump ends. Meaning that, let's say maybe you entered at a price of 23 23.66, right? 23.66, a buy there. Your stop loss is at 23.66, and then the jump of the market open when the news is released maybe jumps to 23, maybe 23.50 something. So it means that your stop loss is going to be pushed to that area. You see, that's slippage. So you don't, based off different brokers that you use, obviously you are aware of which broker does give out slippages, and we also don't want brokers that give us those slippages, because it's bad for us, especially if you are someone who trades based off using stop losses. So that's hence I'm saying, when it comes to that, make sure that you have the right direction earlier before then the event, so that you can always protect your trades by putting at stop loss at break even, or just by just adjusting stop loss at almost a tight one, so that you don't have to be risking too much of your own capital, right? And then now it comes to what I don't have much to say for now. I guess that's all that I needed to say about NFP. Um, I'm looking at buys on GU, looking at sells on gold. Doesn't make sense for people to even understand why. Why would someone even be looking at different directions in terms of these two instruments? It just doesn't make sense. Why? Because a lot of people do believe that gold is dependent on the state's economy. Gold can take any direction as it wants, especially if the structure doesn't say it has to go in the same direction as GU. It doesn't. Hence, it's always bad when you analyze GU and you take a sell and you just jump onto gold, you start looking for selling opportunities. No, you have to just follow the structure thoroughly so, meaning that whatever structure you have on GU, when you come to gold, have a clear mind. Do not come with the perception of because of GU is selling, then I have to be looking at selling opportunities. Because one thing about the market is that it will show you what you want. Basically, most of the time, that's what people do. They go onto the charts with the sort of like a third eye operation. They get to the charts before analyzing. They're like, you see here, I see a buy. Immediately, because of we are psychological beings at the end of the day, the minute you tell yourself, I see buys, you're going to force yourself to try and force the charts to, it's more like you're going to try and force looking for confluences that are saying buy. You understand? Whereas you need to always approach the market with a clear thought to say, I don't see anything. Let the structure be the one that confirms the market movement. So that keeps you away from losing all the time. But if you go in there with that psychological thought into saying, this is what I already see, already when you analyze, you have set your mind into looking for what you already, it's like you want the market to do as you want. Hence, you're gonna even see yourself drawing unnecessary things on the charts that are supporting your thought. So avoid trying to look for things that are supporting your thoughts. If you find yourself looking into the charts and you already have made up your mind as to into what you already see, make sure that you then refresh the charts over and over until your thought process is clear. You come in and you forget about what you saw, and then you let the structure guide you. That's the least I can say for now. But for now, if you have any questions, you can comment, you can reply. If there's no questions, that would be the end of it, because I have nothing to say anymore. I'm still saying sells on gold. Target is 26.33, and then gold, GBPUSD, it's buys until the high price that was marked during London session. So yeah, so you can, the high price that was marked during London session yesterday, that's the target. And then for GU, sells until 23.66, 26.33, and then after it reaches that area, if there's a rejections, we take those buys up until the certain key prices that I have marked out. Unfortunately, I couldn't memorize those numbers in my head, but yeah, that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, you may ask. If you have any query, you may ask. If you have any questions, you may ask. If you don't have any questions, that's also okay as well. But yeah. Are there any questions? Any queries? Are there any queries? Any questions? All right, there's no questions. Okay, until then, we shall meet after NFP. So yeah, after NFP, I'm gonna share my review as to what happened, and then that's all I can say. We will see how did price react, and what were probably maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes later, after NFP, then I'm gonna go live again here on YouTube. Come and try and just talk about what happened. Not gonna be talking about fundamentals, technicals only. But until then, we shall meet again. Thank you for joining, and bless you.